Okay guys, so I have this Whirlpool washing machine. Pretty much a very good machine. It's automatically operated. Basically you set whatever setting you want, and then after you do that, then you select start, looking at the knob here, and from once you set the start, then you have to leave it so it goes through the washing and the rinsing cycle until it stops. Alright, so this machine is a very complex type of machine, right? This is not the ordinary manual type. Even though it looks as almost like it's a manual machine, it is automatic, right? But lovely machine. Now when you have this kind of situation, these machines may be a little bit more difficult to take on or address whenever there's a problem. Alright, so the first time I tried to work on this machine, I realized that it was in a lockout situation, and I did not know what was the main cause or reason for that. Now I happened to be looking at the board and looking at various components and see if that could be possible one of the issue with the machine. Alright, so after testing it, I realized somehow that it could be one or more reason why it go into a lockout situation, right? So we test to see if it's a problem with the power coming from the outlet, right? So I check this outlet here, and I see more or less that there's no problem with the power at the outlet. So I plugged in the card, and I plug it in, and I plug it out and I plug it in again, just to see if there's a problem at the outlet. So I use a electrical tester, and after using my electrical tester, I see that there's actually power in the outlet. Alright, so the next thing I had to do is to test at the back, or open the back piece of the machine. So as I open the back piece of the machine, I realize that everything is in proper working condition. I unplug each components coming from the machine to the board. I see that it was really no issue there. Then boom, everything seems okay. Machine working properly. The lights all lit up, the filled, the wash, the rinse, everything. Alright, and then I said, let me add some water to it. So I plug it in, I hook up the hose and everything. So after I hook up the hose, I realize water filled in nice. Then I select start, and boom, everything going good. Machine washing properly. So I said, what's wrong with it? Alright, so when it finish wash, then it goes into spin, and then gradually it starts to spin, and after it starts to spin, then you start to hear an excessive noise and vibration, to the point where it starts to knocking heavily, like almost like if something is is about to fall or break apart. Alright, so this excessive vibrations start to happen, and so we have to shut down the machine in order for it not to damage itself. All right. So I've been looking much and observing everything on the machine. Right. So I go further and I look into it, and you see I observe. I observe on different angle. But I push it down, I realize the machine, it bounces, but it bounces a little heavier than normal. Alright, so when we have a case like this, and a machine bounces more than once, normally we'd say there's a problem with the suspension rods. Alright, it's like a dampering kind of parts that allow the machine to absorb any vibration, right? But do so without having to bounce too much around. All right. So I realized more or less that it's an issue on that part. All right. So I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to demonstrate how you can actually remove this component from a washing machine so that it don't happen to vibrate excessively anymore. All right. So I'm going to walk you through this video so you can understand how we can go about addressing this kind of problem. All right. Alright, so we're going to get to the suspension so we can actually have them being replaced. But in order to do so, we got to open the machine carefully. And from there, we'd try and get out the rod one at a time. Alright, so we got to do this process carefully because, as I said, we can't afford to do any other harms to the machine, otherwise we have other problem to address. Alright. So I'm going to remove the support at the back. And this back piece, yeah. I'm going to remove this back piece because I want to see what is happening while I'm doing this. I just want the cover to actually able to raise. For once I can raise the cover, I can put the support piece in place. Alright, and then this support here is also part of what hole between the cover and the body. So I gotta remove this support in between the cover and the body. Alright. So I hope I'll remove this support piece, our braces. Alright, so this is one of the rods that actually was removed from the machine. Alright, so this is a rod that was removed from the machine. But I'm going to show you what the real issue is and why we're having this kind of problem. Alright, so this is how it is. Alright. Alright, so you're looking at the machine, you're looking at the rod here. Alright, this spring provides a damping effect. Alright, but it's designed for movement. Alright. Now it may seem like this is totally fine because it's physically in physically in good appearance. Now let's look at what happened. If I should slide up this brace here, alright, I can move this thing here. This is the thing that provides damping effect. Alright, so when the machine bounces once, it don't bounce a second or third time. Alright, so this is what supported this thing here. This provides the support to the machine. Alright, so the spring provides the ability for a machine to compress, but then this piece here is provide the slowing effect or the damping. Alright. Alright, so we have this new sets that we're going to replace. Hopefully it can be able to do the job for us. Once we fix it, then we can decide what we're going to do next. Alright. So if the test run and run properly, then we are all good and set. Alright, so we're gonna try and see and compare with the previous one that we have. Alright, so see it here. Well, they look about the same. Alright. This one is a little more cleaner, obviously because it's new. But observe the difference here. I'm trying to pull against this piece here. You see it's intact. And that is what we really want. This thing not to slide too much. Once it slides too much, then it really not doing anything. And that is why the machine, was jumping, because this thing keep moving. So unlike the old one that was moving, this one remained fixed. Alright, so this one moves, and this one, remain fixed. Alright, so this one has been deteriorated, so I'll remove this one. And then we're gonna replace this new one. Alright, simple as that. Alright, so we're just kind of sliding or slipping this right here. I don't want it so I'm going to slide this rod right in the space where it's coming from. Alright, so it have each groove. Now you slide it in. the second groove right on this side here. Alright, so I'm going to do it one side at a time because we don't want it to damage. Alright, so we just get in the first set, and then we're going to flip the machine up again. We lock the support in place because we don't want the machine to drop. You notice that there's a space. There's a space. The machine not entirely off the ground because the spring or the rods hold them up in place. Alright? So you can't just take the machine and take all four down one time. You gotta at least, hold off on the rest of two. So until you get in the first two, then you take off the next set. Alright, so that's a kind of safety procedure. So the machine don't sustain any damage during the replacement.